What's up, guys? It is Tuesday, and you already know what that means, man. It's a creative Tuesday, and today I'm going to be showing you guys, wait a minute, my side of my face, my jaw, everything is so numb. I just left the dentist, and that was crazy. I had to get a filling, and oh my god, I'm just so numb. But if I'm talking weird, you know why now. But anyway, we're going to talk about today how I create my Instagram stories for videos in Adobe Premiere Pro, and we're also going to talk about how I create my Instagram stories with Photoshop. I take my photos and kind of make them crazy. I've been getting a lot of requests on how I do my Instagram stories and how I size them, so I was like, let's make a video. So before we get over to the computer, I want to let you guys know, if you are shooting video strictly for an IG story, then you want to turn your camera like this. Shoot it long ways, because the size that you will make a video to go on an Instagram story is the complete opposite of 1920 by 1080. It will be 1080 by 1920, which makes it a tall video, and it fits the Instagram story perfect. So if you shoot your video like this, you'll have no distortion. But if you did shoot your video like this, you planned on shooting it for YouTube or some case scenario like I always do. I shoot all my vlogs like this. I obviously don't shoot them long ways to make an IG story specifically. If you shoot it like this, all you have to do is scale it up, which I'm gonna show you guys when we hop on the computer. We're about to get over here, get on the computer. I'm gonna show you guys how I create my videos and size them for Instagram stories. And I'm also gonna show you how I take my pictures and make cool stuff in Photoshop for my Instagram story. So let's hop on the computer and get to it. All right, guys, now that we're here at the computer, we're gonna go ahead and open up Adobe Premiere Pro. We're gonna start out with the video. Now that we got Premiere open, we're gonna do new project, and we're gonna do how I create IG stories. Boom. And I have that going to my hard drive, that file. So I'm gonna switch this up a little bit. I don't know why this always resets on me. Effects, keep my effects open. All right, okay, so first what I do is go to sequence, and I just open one up, digital SLR, 1080p, 24 frames per second. Now we have our timeline. So what you wanna do off the rip is, you know that this rectangle is not gonna fit in your IG story. So we're gonna change the settings to be the complete opposite, from 1920 by 1080 to 1080 by 1920. So you come here to your frame size and you go 1080 by 1920. And now we have this tall video, which will fit in, I believe, any IG story on any phone, but this is the size that you wanna make it. So let's bring the footage in that we just shot for the beginning of this video, and that is right here. Let's bring that in. That way we have some vertical video and some horizontal video. Let's see, I think that was this one. Let's bring that volume down. Let me just show you how this looks. The vertical video. When you drag it in, it's gonna ask if you want to change. You don't want to, you wanna keep your existing settings. Now let's zoom in here. So as you can see, it's trying to go long ways like the regular camera would do, but what you wanna do is you wanna rotate it, I believe by 90, there we go. So now we have the video, it fits perfect into it, and you don't have to zoom it in or anything. It runs perfect. So if I do shoot video specifically for my IG story, sometimes I'll shoot it vertical just because I know it's going to an IG story specifically, and that just might be some simple content that I want to show you guys or something like that. But let's say that I have a music video that I've shot and I want to make a preview of it, or let's just do this vlog. I have a new vlog right here. I haven't dropped it yet, it's coming out soon. So let's just drag that in. Obviously you want to keep the existing settings. Now you see it's horizontal to fit YouTube, not to fit an IG story. What I do, let's grab it right here, bring it in. Okay, so now we have a piece of my vlog in here, and we want to scale it up. Now the only problem is it cuts off some of the video, so you want to try and keep the main subject in the video, which is what I do. So first of all, let's scale it up. You want to scale it all the way up so you don't see any black. Now we have it. Now you can't really see my feet, so what I would do is go to the end before this clip actually changes. Boom, I'll cut it right there. And then I'll come back here and see where I can move it to actually bring the right stuff in so you can see the subject. So maybe I'll do this. So that's the subject, my foot. So he's kind of centered, but I'd probably change it because I'm a perfectionist. So I'll go to the next part, cut it, come back here, and then I'll go to the motions and I'll move that centered. That wasn't bad. I'll keep that like that. I'm gonna change that foot part. So let's come back here. scoot this over so you can see that foot dragging. So basically all you're really doing is scaling it up to fit it. You are gonna have a little distortion in it because you're obviously making it bigger, as opposed to if you shoot it vertical, like I was telling you before, you won't have to scale it up at all and it'll be full quality. It'll be a little zoomed in, but as long as you shot your video good and it looks good, it won't matter. I'll show you one other way that I also do it too. Sometimes I will bring in the video, keep existing settings, and I'll duplicate it. And on the bottom one, I'll go scaled up and I'll come over here to my effects panel and I'll search blur and use a Gaussian blur and drop that on the bottom layer. Maybe do like 50%. And then I'll go to the top layer, scale it to frame so it fits. And I'll let it run just like that, so it's a blurred out background. And for scenarios where you got the black bars, I'll just take a crop and I'll put it over top of that. And I'll drag that down until you can't see that crop no more. So it's at 14. We'll go back and do the same thing for the bottom, 14. Now what you have is the background blurred out, fits the story, and then you have your main video in the center of the focus on your IG story. And then you could come here and write some text on it or something in the Instagram app, or put like a GIF or whatever you want to do to it, man. Typically I use the like or the YouTube arrow that pops up and put it over top or something and write like swipe up to check out the video or something like that. So that's kind of how I do my videos. So then what I would do after I'm done, let's say IG videos around 14-15 seconds. I usually just do 14, so I'll cut it here, delete it, make sure that's all that's there. Cool, now I got my IG story. I'll go file, export, media. Typically you would want to just do match source, high bit rate, but I'll have my own settings that I've created. 1080p. Now what you see here is it tries to make it like a 1080p video, but all you have to do is come here, hit match source, and it'll make it that 1080 by 1920. So basically with these settings, I just have the render at maximum depth clicked. If you come down, I have it on VBR2 pass, and I keep 20 on the bit rate and the maximum bit rate 2020. And down here I click use maximum render quality and I click use previews, and I would just name it like IG story 1 or something, I don't know. Desktop, save, export. Now as soon as that's done, me personally I have an iPhone, so I would make sure that my airdrop is cut on my phone. If you don't know how to do that, basically all you do is have to swipe down or swipe up, whichever iPhone you have. I know the iPhone X is a little different, but go to where you can see the blue Wi-Fi and the blue Bluetooth. Hold down on it, make sure your Wi-Fi is on, make sure your Bluetooth is on, and then at the bottom left corner there should be one that says airdrop. If you click that one, you want to make sure that it says everyone. And now you go Premiere Pro over here, open up your Finder, click airdrop. Sorry. Now you can see it right there. Find your file, drag it, boom, airdrops it right to your iPhone. Perfect quality, as big as you made it. All the quality should be perfect. Then all you do is you go on Instagram and you upload it. Now let's go over to Photoshop and talk about how I do my pictures for Instagram. So I use Photoshop CC 2018. I'm not sure if it's updated or not. I probably could update it, I don't know. Create new, so you want to do the same thing. You want to go 1080 by 1920. Cool, so now we have the tall template made for adding photos. So let's go find some photos that I took. Typically, I like to take a lot of photos all the time. Let's open this up and show you this real quick. This is one that I made before. I take photos every day pretty much, and sometimes I just like to make random content for my IG story. So when I do this, I just kind of like to fade photos in together, and as you can see, like, it's got some weird effects going on around here, but basically all that is brushes. So if you go to your brush tool and you come over here to look at your brush settings, you can see all these different brushes. I have all these different brushes that you can do different things with. You can make them bigger, stuff like that. But let's do back real quick. We're gonna bring in some photos so I can show you guys how I do it. All right, now we got some photos in here, and I'm gonna show you kind of like what I would do. So if I took all these photos in the same day, I don't like to show too many photos in one IG story. I really like to post them clean, just like they are. But sometimes, like I said, I add effects to them. So I'm gonna drag this one in of my little brother. Actually, I like this one better. I'm gonna take this one, click on and hold on it, drag it to my IG 1080 by 1920. And drop it in there. Let's delete that other one. So as you can see, it's super big. I take my photos really big. I shoot raw. So you want to do Command T and back out. Now what you can do is transform it. If you hold Shift and you drag down on the corner while you're holding shift, it'll keep it proportioned. So if you don't hold shift, it'll end up going like this, and you don't want your pictures to be all badly proportioned in the wrong dimension. So you hold shift, drag it down. So what I'll do maybe for my main photo is I'll fit it in there perfect like that. Zoom in, I'll get it centered like that. And let's say, let's use this one. Bring that in. Bring that down maybe. So maybe I just want to mesh these two photos together because I like the way they are. Maybe I just want to be up top. It's kind of all about creativity. So you got to know what you want to do with the pictures while you're actually taking them. So these are obviously 2 different days, 2 different times. I didn't know anything that I was going to do here. Sometimes I'll like just add a brush over it, like do different stuff. I'll probably add a brush over it by the time we're done, but I'll go to the eraser tool. I have these filters right here that kind of, let's bring it down a little bit. So they kind of affect the whole picture with like some grunge. So sometimes I use these a lot. So we're gonna use that. 1, 2, 3 maybe. Now we got some fade going on, some crazy stuff. And then I wanna kind of fade this in right here, and I definitely wanna be able to see his head. So I'll probably just do like a regular brush real quick, a regular circle. Make sure you don't use the one that's hard. You wanna use the soft one. So when you erase, it gives like a soft erase. So I'll make it bigger. Boom, now he's popping right there. Now let's see, I'll go with one of these maybe. Kind of give it like some cool effects going on right here. So now you're just looking like, wait, what's going on? It's really confusing. So I use this one a lot. This is probably my favorite brush that I have. I'm gonna actually use that right here. Boom, 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 boom. You wanna keep it in the same spot when you're doing like those multiple erases. So that's kind of cool. Now we got a crazy effect going on. And then maybe, boom, let's get a brush. Let's add like some particles maybe, and I'm gonna make those white. Let's see where they fit best. Maybe down here by his feet. Boom, add one in like that. And let's make it a little small. Bring it down, make it smaller. Add one in up here by my face. What else could we do to this? It looks dope already. You know what? Let's add a brush of that actual overlay in here. Let's do this one. Yeah, that one's cool. I like using this one too. So I'm gonna make it like about right here. No, the top edges. You wanna make sure the edges of the actual brush are going past or right at the edges. So you're not showing like a hard line too. So let's do this and go 1, 2. That's too many. Let's take off 1. Keep that. So that's pretty cool, man. I like that actually, starting from just this right here. So now we have a cool IG story of photos from the day, kind of telling a story of where I was. And basically what you would do is go File, Save As. I always go to my desktop. I'm gonna say IG story. I'm gonna say 2 since we made a video. Save it as a JPEG. Save. Then what you want to do is come right back to your Finder, go to that airdrop. Now you can see that I'm available. Drag the photo to it. Now we got the video and we have the actual picture on the phone. You can go swipe up on Instagram on your story, add those photos, add those videos, and upload it. And that's kind of how I do it. So real quick, a cool place where you guys can get brushes if you're interested in getting brushes like I use. I go to brusheasy.com. I'll come here and maybe I'll do grunge brushes and I'll type that in the search, and then they have tons of different ones. You can download them and you install them into your Photoshop, and then you can just start going crazy, do all types of cool stuff. Cool, let's hop back over to the camera real quick. Also, make sure you go over and follow me on Instagram. Now that you know how I create my stories, come follow me and check out my stories on a regular basis, because I do switch it up. I do different ones all the time. It won't be these same ones all the time. These are just a taste of what I do. I do all types of stuff. So follow me on Instagram and I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure you subscribe too, man. Consider subscribing. Peace.